This was just on such a different level. It was an immediate disconnect. Like, we were done. That night in New York, I was done with both of them.
You know, Scheana, I gotta ask you about this Vanderpump finale trailer. And I saw the comments that you left on some Instagrams, and like even you were living through it and your mind was blown. I mean, what was going through your head when you had that conversation with Sandoval about Raquel after everything kind of went down?
Oh, there were a lot of things going through my head. I haven't even seen the finale yet, but that conversation, I'm like, how are you guys going to edit this down? Like, every single thing we spoke of in that conversation felt so important. Mm-hmm. It was one of the harder conversations and scenes I've ever filmed, to be honest. So that'll be definitely hard to watch back, because this was a 13-year friendship that ended not because of anything he did to me, but because of what he did to someone else and because of his actions. And that doesn't align with how I live my life. So it was a really challenging scene to get through, conversation. And yeah, you'll see how that went, but it was really, really tough.
Yeah, I think people tend to forget sometimes that this is your real life and these are your real friendships. And not only was Ariana betrayed, but the entire group was betrayed as well. And I'm sure you kind of felt that in that moment as well.
Oh, for sure. I mean, these were two of my absolute best friends. So to lose both of them at the same time, and it's like, I'm always a person who, as we've seen on the show for almost 10 years, I see both sides, you know, well, they didn't do anything to me, so I'm still going to stay friends with them. But this was just on such a different level. It was an immediate disconnect. Like, we were done. That night in New York, I was done with both of them. I could never see continuing a friendship after what I found out.
I mean, that was kind of my next question, because we've seen some cheating scandals from VPR in the past, but is there anything that the two of them can do to kind of move on with the group and get any sort of forgiveness from anybody?
Right now, no.
No. Yeah.
I don't see anything that they could do right now for anyone to forgive, you know? This is just on such a different level, you know? This isn't a one-off thing. This isn't a stranger. I mean, this was someone who was in their home, who was, you know, the three of them would do stuff together all of the time. And it's like Ariana was the only one not clued in onto what was actually going on. So just knowing how deceptive they were, and it just, I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy, you know? And you did it to your best friend and your partner in life.
Right. And just, I'm sure watching back some of the conversations that were had, even like the episodes that are airing now, I watched the episode tonight too. And it's like the conversations that were had, and just knowing that this was going on behind everybody's back, especially Ariana, when Raquel is saying like, you guys are my best friends and things like that. It's just like, what is going on?
And the thing was, it wasn't even just behind our back. It was in front
of our face. Sorry. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was literally both. Like you see Sandoval slap Raquel's ass behind mine and Ariana's back after my welcome party in Mexico. Well, I'm like, you're still in front of a camera, dumbass. Like, just because that was behind our back, like, people still saw.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
And like him, just like when the producer was like, did anything happen with Raquel? And like the way he's just smiling, I was, oh my God.
I talk about that this week on my podcast because I missed it last week. That was one of my other cringe moments. And I don't know how I didn't write that down in my notes. After I recorded, I was like, damn it, I need to say that next week. And I was just like, the way he's trying to convince our showrunner and maybe himself, I'm watching it and I'm like, if Brock were to be asked that question, he would just be like, nope, nothing's ever happened. Right. But Sandoval kept doubling down. It was like, you know, like Kody. I'm like, now you're trying to compare Raquel to Kody? And why?
You know, it was interesting. James said on Watch What Happens Live that in a weird way, he is hoping that they last. Do you feel the same way?
I mean, it's not that I'm hoping they last, but it's like, why would you have done it if you weren't going to try and make it work? You know, it's like, was it worth blowing up everyone's life? Was it worth the heartbreak and hurt you caused Ariana if you're just going to like give up? So I feel like he kind of meant it in that way. Well, it's like, they damn well better try to make it work because look at the turmoil and everything that they've caused.
Right. What was your reaction when you first saw Tom and Raquel's footage in the finale trailer? And she's almost like kind of like laughing, saying that they were going to do this, it would be worth it. And then, you know, things went horribly wrong.
I was physically shaking. I was just like texting as fast as I was like, oh my God, her smirk. It was just, that's why, Christina, that's why the night in New York, like after she grabbed my wrist, it was just like, I had to get her away from me because it was that same look and smirk. And it was just like, oops, got caught. My bad. No remorse.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like she has remorse now?
Nope.
No. Do you think Tom does?
Yes. If that's what we're calling it. I know he absolutely has a lot of regrets. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how much you'll see in our conversation, but also then we have a whole reunion. But it was like sociopathic. It was very bizarre to just see someone cry so hard over a pageant and not ruining their best friend's relationship.
Yes. It was hard for me to watch as somebody that's been following the show for so many years too, Tom defending his friendship with Raquel while talking to Ariana in that scene. Like you just feel for her as somebody's like world is crashing down and he's defending someone's mistress. That's tough to watch.
Yeah. I think he could have handled everything a lot better. Mm. And it's like, oh, you're in fight or flight mode. You know, maybe you should have just chosen flight and, you know, crawled into a hole until this passed. Like, let's not try to double down. Let's not try to blame Ariana. Let's not try to say this happened because no, you're wrong. End of story. So let all of us heal and, you know, next season, if there is another season, who knows how this is going to go down? I don't think anyone knows yet.
No, I'm sure. Can you even picture yourself even filming with them again?
I mean, yes, I can picture it because I've had to picture it because I feel like, you know, that's the name of the game. But I can't envision what type of event that would be. I would have to be something Lisa Vanderpump hosts, you know? Mm-hmm. You're not getting invited to any birthday parties, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. Has Sandoval and Schwartz's friendship suffered at all because of this? And is your friendship suffered with Schwartz because of this?
I've not spoken to him a ton. I kind of just want to let, you know, the dust settle a little more because I felt like I wasn't going to get full transparency out of Schwartz. Every time I would ask him something, it was kind of like, man, I don't know, ask Sandoval. Like, I just came for the beer. And it was like, okay, but I'm asking you about something I just read online. And so I was just like, you know what? He's already been put in the worst position by his best friend, giving him this information and like him just, you know, abiding by bro code or whatever. So I didn't want to be another person making him uncomfortable and trying to get information. I was just like, you know what? I've gone back and forth with, did he really find out only about this then? Did he know a little more? Did he not? Does he not even remember because it's just been so much? Mm-hmm. But I mean, I've always loved Schwartz. It is tough when, you know, he's business partners with someone none of us want to be around anymore.
Yeah, puts him in a really awkward position. Do you feel like they had a game plan? You know, do you think that they were waiting until after the season, after the reunion, and then he was going to break up with her? Then maybe a few months down the line, they would have been together. I mean, all hypothetically speaking.
So there was a game plan. I just can't tell you what it was.
Okay.
But you were not completely correct with what you thought it might be.
Okay.
I don't remember if we just, I know in our conversation where you see in the trailer, he's like, I was going to break up with Ariana regardless. The game plan was then given to me then. I just don't know how much of that you'll see. I think we talked about it at the reunion. But he had a game plan. Her, I don't know.
But then that moment at the end of the trailer when Kristen Doute comes back in, what was it like filming with her? I cannot wait.
So I think that was just her and Ariana.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I would love to have some more Kristen back on the show. You know, she's great. I love her. Her presence has been missed for a few years. Yeah. And I was so excited to see that at the end too. I can't wait to watch that. And she's doing a new show called The GOAT. So it'll just be nice to see her back on TV again.
Definitely. And I have to say, your birthday party for your daughter was the cutest theme ever. I absolutely loved it. How are you kind of dealing? I know she just turned 2, but how are you dealing with the terrible 2s so far?
Right now, brushing teeth is hell on earth. We've tried every kind of toothbrush. We got her this baby shark one, and it like sings the song, and she loved it for a few days. And now it's like, no, baby shark. And it's just torture. But other than that, she is talking so much. She learns something new every day. I swear. It's like I go away, you know, like I'm going to be gone in Chicago for a day and a half for Cinco de Mayo for Smirnoff. Well, we're kicking the Cinco de Mayo party off early. It's May 4th. But I'm like, I swear, by the time I get back from my Smirnoff Chicago trip, she's going to have 3 more numbers she counts up to, or some new words she learns. Like, she was opening all her birthday presents and everything. She goes, oh, how cute. And I'm like, where did you get that from? So it's always something new. But, you know, it also, whenever I do have an opportunity to, you know, get out of town, let my hair down, have a little fun, a little Cinco de Mayo Smirnoff spicy tamarita event, I think it's good for my mental health too.
Moving on to Smirnoff, I know that you were teaming up for Smirnoff, so for one of my favorite holidays of the year, Cinco de Mayo. So what goes into throwing a great Cinco de Mayo party?
Well, first you have to have a good liquor and also good branding. So I was just saying how Summer is like obsessed with Encanto and Coco, but this I think reminds her of Coco. And so I just have it sitting like on my table. I was like, oh, Coco. But it tastes really good. So I'm like, I'm a sucker for any cute branding, and I loved the decor of this. But then I made a little spicy tamarita, a skinny version last night, and it was so good. It's like I didn't even need to add that much to it because the vodka has all of the flavor. And also I'm not always a tequila girl, so I can always be a vodka girl. I'm never hungover after vodka, and it's just so good. So I'm really excited for this. I love a spicy drink, a little tahini rim, right up my alley.
Good to go. What are your Cinco de Mayo plans for this year?
So I am going to be taking over Chicago. We are doing a Locura tour. And all people 21 and over, everyone is welcome. And our goal is to take celebrations from basic to bold, because I tend to be basic at home. And sometimes I'll just have like a glass of wine at night. But then last night I was at the grocery store and I was like, you know what? I really like this bottle. I want to see what fun cocktail I can make with it. So I will be posting my version of the tamarita later today. But it was just fun to make a drink at home and not be basic.
I love that so much.
Yeah. I know they're doing they're going to have a bunch of the local restaurants, all the Mexican restaurants that are local in Chicago have different sweet, spicy, and tangy bites. So there's something for everyone, which is also what I love about Smirnoff. I was just saying on my last interview, I've drank Smirnoff since right out of college. I turned 21 the day after I graduated college, but Smirnoff's always been affordable. It's always been something for everyone, and you don't get hungover and it tastes good. So it's one of my go-tos. And especially whenever there's a fun new flavor, I'll sometimes just add soda water because you don't need anything else with the good flavored vodka.
That is so true. I know Smirnoff was definitely the college staple, and it still is. honest.
Yeah.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.